How's it going on? This is the Anime Man. You know, when you start to read manga or watch anime for a long time, and I mean a long time, I feel like you start to steer away from the shows that everybody already knows, or everybody knows is just a universally praised and loved series by the entire community. Maybe because you know that that universally praised and loved show won't exactly quench the thirst that you have for something new and refreshing in the manga and anime world, or perhaps you've already had your thirst quenched by watching all of these amazingly well-known and well-renowned anime and manga shows. And as weird as this may sound to the common otaku, I think the same thing can also be said for the world of hentai. Now, for those of you who are new to this channel, if there's one thing that you should know about me, it's that I've seen a lot of hentai. And I mean a lot. And I think it's because I have seen so much anime smut in my life that I start to get curious as to just how far the boundaries stretch in terms of quality within the hentai world. And by how far it stretches, I mean how far down it stretches in a negative way. You know, I was just lying in bed last night just thinking about what you think about at 2 in the morning when suddenly this pink light bulb glows above my head in the form of one simple question. What is the worst rated hentai ever made? I mean, if you've been around in this online anime community, you probably know the answer to that in anime form. You know, Mars of Destruction, Pupa, Skelter Heaven are just some of the more well-known examples of the worst rated anime ever made. And if you've never heard of any of those series, don't worry, I'll probably make a video where I review and dissect those sometime in the near future. But I don't really know anyone or myself know the answer to the worst rated hentai ever made, so I ventured forth into the wide and wacky world of my anime list to seek out that answer. And after the long search, I finally stumbled upon the answer to my question with a staggeringly low 3.02 out of 10 on my anime list was the worst rated hentai known to the common man, simply titled Tsui no Sora. So I'd finally found it, the worst rated hentai ever made, a single OVA episode from 2002. So after scavenging through a number of very questionable websites that have definitely given my PC every type of digital STD imaginable, I managed to find a somewhat decent quality of the 23-minute OVA in question. So I sat down with a bowl of popcorn and got to work. And 23 minutes later, I think I can safely say that my life has changed. Like, for the worse. Because let me tell you, my boys, that Tsui no Sora is beyond anything that I have ever imagined to be real. Now, it's kind of hard to describe what exactly the story of Tsui no Sora is about, considering that I didn't really glean any kind of, like, information about the plot of the story from this 23-minute OVA, so take whatever I say when trying to explain the story with a giant grain of salt, like a boulder of salt. Basically, it starts off with this schoolgirl named Zakuro, which, first of all, I don't know why you would call your kid that, considering that Zakuro in Japanese literally means pomegranate. I guess the mum really liked pomegranate. Who basically commits game over by jumping off the roof of her school. And since then, everyone at school is talking about this thing called N-Sky or Tsui no Sora. Hold on. Subtle title reference. Now, from my understanding, this Tsui no Sora or N-Sky as it's called in English is basically like this end of the world type Armageddon D-Day type of business. I really don't understand what exactly it was about. But essentially, because of this impending doomsday, everybody who knows about it and knows that it's about to come over us gets a little bit crazy. And by that, I mean they become these insane, maniacal, sex-driven maniacs that go around everybody. Oh, the joy. So, if you thought that synopsis sounded ridiculous, well, that's because it is. But when it comes to this OVA, the story is just the tiniest tip of the iceberg. Because trust me when I say that everything else about this OVA, about this 23-minute piece of animation in air quotes, is just beyond stupid and ridiculous. So with that being said, let's go through scene by scene and dissect exactly what I'm trying to talk about. Firstly, the OVA opens up with this title screen, which looks like some really bad B-grade horror film from the 80s. Followed up by this, like, ugly-ass PowerPoint presentation-looking transition. Like, look at that. Who thought that was a good idea? Then we see the aforementioned Zakuro, or Miss Pomegranate, talking about the end of the world or something with this guy called Mamiya. And then, out of nowhere, he just starts her. It's like, middle of the sentence. Boom. Yo ass getting like, he says some shit like, if it's the end of the world, then I'm gonna show you a good time before you go, and then BAM! He just starts banging her in this, like, way too dragged out scene. Like, holy shit, I didn't know when this was gonna end. Now, comparatively, this scene in question only lasts 3 minutes, which, if you look at any other hentai series, isn't really that long of a scene. The problem is that during these 3 minutes, there is zero dialogue whatsoever, at least zero dialogue that is important to the story. Just a lot of panting and a lot of work from the Foley artists. And I think it just seems so dragged out, not just because there is no dialogue, but because they literally use, like, 3 individual scenes, and they reuse the scenes by zooming in and out of different parts of the scene to make it look like different scenes, when in actuality, it's just the same scene over and over again. So anyway, after that, Zakuro jumps off the roof, then we smash cut to our main character, Yukita, I don't know which one it is, getting woken up by her childhood friend, Kotomi. Hey, she's cute. And this is where the OVA really starts to shine in all of its shitty glory. Because the voice acting and animation in these non-sexual parts of the OVA remind me of some, like, terrible, never-to-be-shown types of crappy parody animations that I saw in Newgrounds back in the day. Like, I don't know what this studio's budget was when creating this OVA, but it couldn't have been more than, like, $100. Like, I refuse to believe it cost them more than $100. The voice actors sound like they're, like, speaking into a Blue Yeti microphone inside of a bathroom, because you can actually hear the acoustics of the room that they were recording in the fucking OVA. Also, the lip syncing is almost non-existent. Like, the lip flaps to begin with are only like 2 frames just looping back and forth, but the voices and the lip flaps aren't even on time. It's like I'm watching a less racist version of Kung Pao, but this time it's not trying to be actually funny. And I truly believe that out of the $100 budget that they probably had for this entire OVA, the majority of them must have gone to hiring like 500 different animators, because I swear, every single scene of this entire 23-minute OVA is changing ever so slightly. Like, the art style, the animation style, just everything, the background art, if you can even call that background art, looks like it's being drawn by a different person every single time. Sometimes the guy is way too tall, sometimes the girl has no shoulders, sometimes the faces are flat, too wide, too sporadic. Body shapes, animation, just everything is out of place. Like, they need to show this OVA in animation schools as an example of what not to do in animation. Like, it's hilarious because this OVA isn't trying to be funny whatsoever. The story, if you just focus purely on the story, it's supposed to be like this horror thriller-esque, like, supernatural mystery type of story, and yet it's just one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. Like, just in terms of that, this OVA, I can legitimately say, is even worse than Boku no Pico. Like, I would actually rather watch Boku no Pico again. Like, just to remind you guys, this OVA came out in 2002. In that same year this OVA came out, we had Chobits, Azumanga Daioh, and Razafon. What the happened? So anyway, after the 2 main characters find out about their friend's suicide, we smash cut to Kotomi getting ready for her club activities or something, while her club mate watches her getting changed creepily from around the corner. And then almost randomly, we smash cut to this, like, hardcore Yuri scene that, again, is just no dialogue, same sound effects, just dragged out like crazy. Like in most
Henty.
during the banging scenes, right, you usually are filled in with some kind of dialogue from either the person getting it or the person giving it. Usually it has to do something along the lines of how the girl is feeling with the penis inside, or how the guy is feeling because the girl feels really good or whatever. Just something to describe and get yourself invested in the moment as if you're the person that is involved directly with the scene. But nope, I guess ℉/℠ decided to go in a really avant-garde direction by just adding no dialogue whatsoever. I guess the scenario writer wasn't paid enough from this $100 budget and was just like, you know what, I'm not writing any script for this. I'm just hand it off to the 100 animators you've promoted and just let the Foley artist just punch a slime ball for about 3 minutes. So then after that scene just randomly ends because we don't actually get to see Kotomi in her club activities whatsoever. We smash cut to that girl who was spying on Kotomi getting like kidnapped and then getting forced to bang some chick while you see the first guy who we saw banging Miss Pomegranate over there, standing there with a whip in his hand and is like whipping these two girls going at it. Like, why? Like, I guess they had to do anything to make you realize that this is the bad guy. Don't forget about it. It's going to be on the test. And then eventually Kotomi also disappears and is again seen getting molested by you-know-who, when suddenly the main character runs in and saves the day. What a hero! And by saving the day, I mean the ghost of Pomegranate appears, says to the bad guy, D-Day doesn't exist, lol, and then he's like, no, you're lying, and then the scene ends. I couldn't make this up even if I tried. Finally, the OVA ends with Kotomi saying thanks to Yukito for saving her life, and then is like, you know what, for saving my life, I'm gonna give you my virginity, fam. Because apparently, she doesn't remember the traumatizing sexual experience she just went through like 2 minutes ago. The final scene is just them just banging again with no dialogue, just a lot of noises from the Foley artist. Really dragged out, just the same scenes repeating over and over again, and then the end. Oh my god, how is this a real thing? So naturally, after watching that life-changing atrocity, I had to go and do like a little bit of research just to see where this abomination came from, how this OVA even became a thing. Turns out this OVA is based off of a visual novel / eroge from the 90s of the same name, created by none other than Scaddy. Now, for those of you who know your visual novels and eroges, Scaddy is the person who is responsible for such visual novels like H2O and Subarashiki Hibi. The latter especially being known as one of the most highly praised and renowned visual novels of its decade, winning multiple awards and getting high praises from communities and reviewers. I guess everybody has to start somewhere. Now, I could just end the video here by saying, yeah guys, I found the worst rated hentai. It's terrible. Don't watch it. End of story. But considering that I've literally heard nobody talking about this particular OVA series or know anything about what anybody else thinks about the show, and I'm just one guy who wants to listen to my opinion, I decided it would be a good idea to further reinforce my thoughts about this OVA by dragging some of my friends into watching ℉/℠ with me, just to see what they think about the worst rated hentai ever made. So enjoy this reaction collage of some of my very innocent friends who are probably no longer my friends after this video, as they experience the life-changing OVA hentai known as ℉/℠ the worst rated hentai ever made. So, Aki. Sydney.
Yes.
Gone.
Yes. I don't know what's happening. Why am I here?
I'm gonna get you to watch something.
Okay.
Or like react to it.
Okay.
It's called ℉/℠. Have you heard of it?
No, I see that there though.
I don't know.
I've heard of Akisora.
No, not Akisora.
Oh, okay.
That sounds very familiar and not in like a good way.
If anyone, like, I've gotten a number of people to react to this, but I figured if anyone was gonna know about it, it'd probably be you. Alright, but it's a
hentai.
Oh.
That's probably why.
That's probably why.
And the reason why I'm gonna get you to watch it and react to it,
Right.
is because it's considered by many
Okay.
to be the worst ever made.
Is the FBI like gonna like storm down my like door when I open this file? Like, FBI, open up!
Explosion effect is, oh my god.
You're watching it all?
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay.
Is this like made in the 70s?
My god, this is like old school. I'm hoping they put all the budget into the sex scenes.
Oh my god. Your mouth just keeps moving even when she's not talking.
Whoa. Why does he sound like he's 50?
This guy sounds really old as well.
人間だけじゃない
It's like Babyface with the most masculine voice ever.
Oh my god. I hate this so much.
Whenever you hear Yamete, you know something bad's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's so much censorship.
What is these sound effects?
It like has the word bank. Can we have like bingo? Like everything's said in a
Bingo.
yeah, Yamate, Yamaro, Kimochi, Itai.
Oh my god, did they just like put it in Sony Vegas and just put some zoom on it or
just
something
do
like
that.
that?
It's not even like sex, it's like him just kind of like moving. I don't know.
Why do they keep using the same shot? Like, change the shot. Why do you keep showing me
Adult videos.
last time we watched
Video.
Now it's more
Video.
When did we watch
Video.
Yaoi ASMR.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And now it's more
Adult video.
How is anyone meant to get a boner from this? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
How long is this gonna go on for? This is just like torture now.
We're only in the first 3 minutes.
You know, you watch something and you're like, I know it's technically moving, but I think the manga would have better animation than this.
I'm pretty sure they're looping like hormones as well, aren't they? What's up with that?
This is the longest sex scene ever.
How long does this sex scene go on for?
This is like, you know when you like make one point in an essay, but then you drag it out by filling it with words? This is like the version of that.
Oh my god, I want it to be over so bad.
I'd never thought I'd say this sex scene has real pacing issues. But this sex scene has real pacing issues.
Thank you, God.
That transition
Oh
though.
my god.
If I watched this back then, though, I probably wouldn't have minded the art at all. If I watched this when it came out.
But now, what do you think of it?
I'm convinced now that, like, we could fund our own just like, if this is the standard we have to beat to be, like, called a
These look like the first anime drawings that I've ever made in my life.
Oh my god, the background just moved! The background literally just moved in that frame. It's like,
Is that like a seizure?
What is going on? He's just sitting there watching her cry.
Someone had to go through translating this too.
okay. Oh my god. His lip, it's just, there's so much to talk about here.
It's like 2 frames.
It literally, it's just
It's like open frame, close frame.
it literally, it just,
See, this is why Bible Black is still put in the Hall of Fame of because compared to this, it's like BAM!
Yep.
Bible Black, you know?
I swear to God, if they like and they like reuse the animation.
I want to cosplay this girl. I want you to cosplay the guy, please, for my Patreon. Can we please cosplay
No.
these 2 people? I beg of you.
No.
This is taking so long. This isn't even like erotic taking clothes off. This,
This
is
is like
just
the
like
normal ass taking clothes off.
what? Where did she come from?
I could say I definitely did not see that coming. Where did this bed also come from? They were in their locker room.
Oh no, don't worry. There's a lot more to go. We're only 9 minutes
Oh
in.
my god!
She's moaning, but there's like nothing on her face.
Is she scissoring her?
I don't know what she's doing.
How much more longer do I have of this monstrosity?
Oh, we're almost halfway.
Well, minus the credits, I think, you know, we're halfway.
There's no credits.
Oh man.
I'm so confused. Am I supposed? Is there supposed to be? Is there a like coherent story? Or am I like losing my mind?
What happened to her face?
This has to be made in paint. There is no way that they actually use like, any other program.
Look at her face! Oh my god! Why is the subtitle suddenly stopped?
Why does he just keep talking? Like I don't even like they don't have subtitles for this part, and he just keeps talking, and it's like she's like help me, and he's like all right, well, let me just go on this hour-long monologue.
It's like imagine if Dio's voice was in like Shaggy's from like.
It's just one big sensor bar.
How has he like detached her head from her body like that? It's like an accordion.
See, now I'm just testing my Japanese skills to the max. We're like, how much have I watched for me to understand what's being said here.
The sound effects for this as well, it just sounds like a trash bag. You're just like moving like a trash bag. Like, this is what sex sounds like. How many times have you had to watch this? Honestly, I feel bad for you.
I've probably seen this maybe like 7 or 8 times.
Oh
now.
my god.
I'm waiting for like that point where everything just comes together. Where I'm like, yeah, everything makes sense now.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Subtitles are back at least.
She looks like him, but as a woman. It's the same person!
I just love the fact that every time they cut it, a face looks entirely different with entirely different proportions.
Why are the pauses in between talking so long?
These are like DeviantArt paintings come to life.
Wait, wasn't she kissing her mouth?
She went in to kiss the mouth and now she's just on her tits. You think I would notice that? That's some continuity shit, man. That's what a trained eye would notice.
I want this to be over so bad. It's just, I don't, oh my god.
I thought you liked it.
I don't think this is
We've gone to like the end of Ava shit now.
I know this is supposed to be the grand bit, but it just doesn't make any maybe I'm getting too devoted to this because like, what is N-Sky? Why?
What? Yeah, I was just being like destroyed in a pool by high schoolers who had like industrial handcuffs somehow. Don't know where you handcuff someone in a pool. Where can you handcuff people to in a pool? Yeah, I'm okay. I was being and a ghost appeared. Now I want to have sex with you. That makes sense.
Wait, why did they stop translating?
You know, I will say, at least this is the one sex scene that makes sense. You know what I mean?
And they're immediately 69ing. Like it's not even a question of what position we have to do.
I feel like every sex scene, her nipples have gone even further apart.
It was all worth it.
She looks like what you think like a 3rd grader who's seen like a naked girl once would draw them like. Like their titties are just like, it's really big. It's like a dot as the nipple.
I want to know what the is the story. Like we were people, and then I don't know why, and then there was ghosts.
That wasn't a very attractive transition.
Please tell me it's over. Please tell me it's over. Please. Is this a series or is it literally that's it?
And that's it. That's the whole,
That literally made no
whole series. So, first of all, how was that?
What the fuck?
But it's like, it's so bad that it's good. Like, I would show that to my friends.
Okay, so here's a question for you.
Yeah.
What year do you think that was made?
This seems like it should have come out in like, this should be in like a long lost 70s or 80s.
Right, right.
It doesn't seem like Cell, so I'd say mid-2000s.
2000?
You see that and you're like, oh, it's probably like 1990, but like it's gonna be something stupid like 2010, isn't it?
1995.
That was made in 2002.
But that's the only thing that gave it away. Just because it was like not cell animation, it was digital animation. I'm like this is like
Right,
this.
you're looking at it analytically.
I'm looking at it analytically, man. I'm like,
Just to put in perspective, in the anime world, in 2002, we had Azumanga Daioh. That's the quality of animation.
Why would they make this? If you're gonna make this, then why would you even bother making something? It's like,
I swear it all doesn't look that bad though as well. Like
No, not even other the 2000 look that bad. I want to ask, as a voice actress, how you thought about the voice acting.
I feel like they literally, it was just a group of people like, should we make it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just honestly, paint, or you know, I have my little sister, she can just be like, ah!
the casting was weird. Why did the guy sound old? Why did he sound?
Because
so
he probably is old.
old? And then like the main guy just kept reminding me of Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't know why.
Now that you've seen that, would you say that that is the worst hentai you've seen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just like, we have found the room of someone needs to dub this. This needs to have an English dub.
It's the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I haven't watched as much Probably some people out there watching. I've watched a fair amount, but like not that bad. I think you should do a thing where you like watch the top 10 worst rated and then make your own list of which one's the worst.
Okay. If you guys would want that, then...
I'd watch the shit out of it.
Yeah. Okay. I can probably do that. Let me know in the comments, guys. Okay. Would you say that this is the worst you've ever seen?
I'd say that's definitely one of the worst that I've ever seen. But it's worse than like, I would show that to someone. If it comes up in conversation, I'll be like, hey, all right, let's watch this. There's this animator that for some reason really likes green. hold on, let me look up. When was Bible Black out? Because if it came out the same year, then yeah, there was some tough competition.
2001. Bible Black came out a year before this.
Wow.
So yeah, if that montage proved anything, it's that you should definitely watch ℌℌ๐. Good anime. Would recommend to the entire family. Let's be real, if I actually was being honest here, I would straight up say in this video, don't watch ℌℌ. Don't bother with it. It's terrible. But I know my audience well enough that if I say that you guys shouldn't watch something, it's only gonna entice you to watch it. So I'm just gonna say, it. Go ahead and watch it. You know what? It's a great OVA. Absolutely life-changing. I loved it. And if you love it too, then you can do your part by going to My Anime List and rating it a 1 out of 10. Don't even give it a 10 out of 10. Give it a 1 out of 10. Because a 3 out of 10 on My Anime List is too high of a ranking than it should be getting. This shit should be in like at least 2 or 1 out of 10. So go to My Anime List, give this shit a 1 out of 10. But yeah guys, let me know in the comments below what you think about ℌℌ, and if you somehow know a hentai series that is even worse than ℌℌ, that you are confident enough in saying, nah Joey, I've seen something that's even worse than this piece of shit, then I guess you can let me know either over on my Twitter, over on my Facebook, or if you don't have either, you can leave it down in the comments below. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go and watch an actual good hentai to blow my load off to. Boku no Pico, here we come, fam! Also, make sure to go and check out all of the lovely people who I dragged into this video because they made this video possible. All of their stuff is down in the description below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, like and favorite if you enjoy. Subscribe for more anime banter. Keep watching anime. Johnny!